Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. Austin here. Last time, we went back to the Nocton region as we explored the neighboring Sicil archipelago and the Pokemon that called it home. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the video, let's do some quick housekeeping. I did see the Pokemon Presents, and I am very happy for Winds and Waves. At the moment, I'm picking Gekwa as my starter. I am partial to the idea of doing my own hypothetical evolutions for our newest starter trio, but I haven't locked anything down yet. With that said, let's return to the normal breakdown. Today, we have the long-awaited return of Fakemon Specials, and we have a special one at that, combining the two foundations of my channel, exploring the residents of Gotham City as Pokemon. I have a lot of potential Pokemon planned for this series, but I gotta leave y'all wanting more for the future, so we're gonna keep it small today. Here are some ground rules for this, however, since I wanted to challenge myself with this one, so every single Pokemon here is original. No new evolutions for pre-existing Mons, my own and or official ones. No convergence. No regional variants. I want to try and flex my creative muscles with this one. Without further ado, let's begin. Traumair, the Witness Pokemon. First up, we have the boy of the hour, Bruce Wayne. I modeled this stage after the young Bruce Wayne after seeing his parents become Swiss cheese. I knew I wanted to make this Pokemon small, scared, and sad. In the first pass, I had this Pokemon's eyes welling up with tears, but a suggestion to make them into cheek marks like Sobble was thrown my way, and oh my god, that was a vast improvement. I did have to adjust the bangs a bit so it just covered enough of the face while still allowing the eyes to emote properly. This isn't a terribly complicated design, so I just tried to allude to it wearing a suit with the black feet, i.e. the shoes, and the half bow tie pattern along the neck. All in all, this is a solid start to the project. Batalent, the Dark Knight Pokemon. This evolves when Traumair was exposed to a combat stone, or Tibetan monks if you want to keep that running joke going in the community. This design did give me a bit more trouble than its Prevo. I did have to bulk this Pokemon a bit up in the second pass of the design since it was just too skinny to fit the vibe I wanted with this Pokemon. I had to adjust the head shape of the face throughout the entire process just to get the correct silhouette I needed. But the arms and wings were the thing that took the longest to nail down outside of colors. We'll get there. I went through a lot of work to make the wings/gauntlets work together, but eventually I had to simplify the design, so I just combined the arm and the outside of the wing, whereas I kept the gauntlet on the inside, so I got the best of both worlds there. Outside of that, the colors easily took the most time to iron out and was actually what led me to simplifying the wings overall. Oh my god, this was always going to be a combo of black/dark blue, but the shades of blue varied wildly throughout this process. I knew I didn't want to make it straight black or straight blue since I thought that'd just be boring visually. The yellow was originally a lot brighter, but after some feedback, I toned it down and made it a touch more orange. I really like how this design came out, but what's Batman without his arch nemesis? Hyena, the Laughing Maniac Pokemon. The Clown Prince of Crime himself, this Pokemon is obviously based on the Joker. I know a Cobra would have fit nicely, but Batman/TMNT did that, and I wanted to try something different and not bite off peak fiction. All things considered, this was a very easy design to pull off. The first pass got all the major elements down fairly quickly: the smiley face pattern, the Joker gas mane on the back, the color scheme, etc. The only thing I added after the fact were the claws to the feet to help balance out the green part of the color scheme, and to help make this Pokemon feel a bit more ferocious. I did have to change the overall shape of the gas main in the final pass, but that's not the biggest deal. I really love how this Pokemon came out. It's a very simple design, but it worked out so well in my opinion. I brought back and nerfed Mass Hysteria to play into the chaos that Joker causes and the confusion taking place of laughing uncontrollably. If this video gets 25 likes within the first month, Harley Quinn will be in the next episode of this series. So, get on it. Aviade, the Bird Wonder Pokemon. Crime fighting is dangerous work, so everyone needs a little help, even Batalent. So, that's where Aviade comes from. Based on the Boy Wonder himself, Robin. Before anyone asks, yes, this will have multiple evolutions in the future. No, they are not going to be in this video. Gotta give you a reason to come back for more. Design-wise, this was a cakewalk considering how simplistic this design is. Definitely the easiest one so far as of writing this part of the script, but I doubt that's going to change. Naturally, I modeled it after the OG Robin costume, hence the green little short shorts. I try to keep as much of the iconography as I could without making it look like it was just wearing clothes. The shiny was a bit tough, but I think it's okay overall. I got some big plans for this tiny burb in the future. Cobblerock, the scheming merchant Pokemon. Our next Gotham resident is Old Oswald himself, the Penguin. I modeled this after the 2003 version of the character since I knew I'd have the most freedom design-wise, and Rockhopper Penguins were too good of a pun to ignore. The design took a few passes to get down, the first two being very undercooked. They lacked the fur around the neck, the pants, and the rock sitting on the head looked tacked on without the rocky forehead to help balance things out. I love the little rock monocle. That's easily my favorite design detail of this Pokemon. He's such a little shit. I just love him. He was definitely a lot harder to design than the Joker and will probably be the hardest design of this batch, but we'll see. Barbrawl, the Electro-Bat Pokemon. The last member of the Bat family for this video, we have the OG Batgirl herself, Barbara Gordon. Fun fact, this was originally going to be a Fairy Flying type, but I realized that Fairy Electric made more sense and helped give me some more type variety with the Bat family. The first pass got the overall upper body locked down, but the lower body was trash. It just looked terrible. The hair was also a nightmare, but we'll get to that. The next pass brought in the current proportions and pose, complete with the smaller legs. The only major difference between this and the final pass on screen was the hair. It was pointed out that the then current design with the red hair looked a lot more like Kate Kane's Batwoman. So I made the hair a lot more orange and converted it into a mane covering the back of the head and the neck. I thought that was a really good compromise. Naturally, I had to make this Pokemon shiny purple. Once I added some white pupils to the design, we were good to go. Of the Bat family, she was definitely the hardest member to design for this particular batch. Flamaniac, the Arsonist Pokemon. Alright, we started with a 2-stage line, so let's end on one as we tackle one half of Gotham's most prolific pyromaniacs, Joe Rigger, aka Firebug, or as you probably know him, Timu Firefly. This Z-lister was a lock-in once I decided to make a Firefly-based Pokemon in the first place, so naturally it had to be the first stage. I combined his classic and Caped Crusader designs for this Pokemon, though mainly just with the OG's color scheme in that regard. I didn't have a whole lot of issues with this one, mainly just cleaning up the line work. Honestly, the biggest thing I changed was making the forearms yellow to make it look more like the OG costume. Originally, they were all just that dark gray. The eyes are meant to resemble flames reflecting off of his goggles, which are easily my favorite design detail there for this Pokemon. But let's tackle the more prolific Pyro, shall we? Linseer, the Arsonist Pokemon. This evolves from Pulmaniac via Firestone. What? Subtlety is for cowards, and is based off of Garfield Linz, aka Firefly. The first pass got the broad strokes down for this design, but a lot of the details were off. The first pass had smaller arms with tiny little fingers underneath, something I removed in the following passes just to help make this design be a little less complicated. I streamlined the eye shape in what you see now, and I made the wings a lot more detailed. I also made the arms a lot more ornate, looking like the business end of a flamethrower with the tiny glowing dots. Those, the eyes, and the bulb would all glow whenever this Pokemon is about to attack, FYI. I just thought it'd be a little fun character animation there in a hypothetical game. The colors took a while to nail down, originally having orange be a buffer between the black and the yellow. I still think the orange worked, but it was definitely a lot less busy looking without it. Naturally, I had to give this Pokemon focused lens for the ability. It just made too much sense, so I brought it back. Firefly is easily one of my favorite Batman villains, and I really wanted to do him justice, and I think I did that spectacularly. Alright, that's another Fakemon Special under my belt. I had a lot of fun combining the two cores of my channel's history, and I have a lot more planned for the future. Batman is my favorite superhero, so this was just a delight for me. Down below, let me know what your favorite design was, what character you want to see most in the next video outside of Harley. Like and subscribe to keep up to date for all future uploads. Click the bell so you don't miss anything. Next time, we're going to do things a touch differently as we head back to the Zinnia region one more time as we go over the first half of the reboot. This is Austin, signing out.